Welcome to Kaleidoscope Kitchen, folks. And we got a little apron that's sort of like a kaleidoscope design. Hey, it ought to make the food taste 100% better. What are we going to do for you today? We're going to do a simple dessert. You can prep this, freeze it, keep it. It is very, very easy. Simple ingredients: egg roll wrappers, canned pie filling, and a hot pot of oil. We'll be right back. All right, how about fried pies the simple way? You remember people my age used to go to McDonald's, used to get this long fried pie in a cardboard box? We're going to make those for you. And we're going to make them using apple pie filling, cherry pie filling, and lemon pie filling. Now you can use blueberry, dewberry, blackberry, you can chocolate, you can use any kind you want. We're going to start with these. We're going to doctor these up because if you have this pie filling just like this, ooh, it's sweet, buddy. It is really, really sweet. So let's get started on this and let's see what we can make happen. Okay, folks, we're moving along through this. We know our videos in the past have got a little long and we don't want to just bore you all to death, but we want to show you some things that are helpful. Okay, we've got our cherry pie filling in here just right out of the can. Now, if we get this stuff, the sugar level is out of this world. So we're going to add a couple very simple, basic things to these. We're going to make it more palatable. Here we have red wine vinegar, and we want to put about a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half, maybe 2 teaspoons of red wine vinegar. Don't be shy on the red wine vinegar. We want to get this mixed up really, really good. The vinegar is going to add some tartness, but it's going to help pull that sweetness down that's inside of here. Now we're going to wrap these in egg roll wrappers instead of a typical pastry shell, because to me, for this purpose, the egg roll wrappers gets a little crispier. All right, so we got our cherries done, and here's our apple right out of the can. All right, to this, I want to add a little nutmeg. Okay, and we want to put about a half a teaspoon, quarter to a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. And we want to do some apple pie spice. The nutmeg will help with the sweetness level of our apples, because you're not going to be eating this with a spoon. It's going to be inside a wrapper. You're not going to have a tremendous of this amount at one time in these fried pies. So you're going to need to spice it up a little so there's a little pizzazz and bang in the bites that you get. Okay. Last, we got the lemon. Look at there, what we got. I've got to step away for just a second while I talk to you a little bit, because out of all my prep, I didn't get one of the things I need to add, but we have it right here. We got some lemon juice. Lemon juice, the lemon pie filling, people say? This lemon juice in a bottle such as this is going to have some acidity. It's going to help the overall sweetness level. Don't put much. Just put like 3 or 4 shakes in there. And to also help with this, tone it down a little, ginger. Okay, we want to put just about 4 or 5 shakes of ginger. Not too terribly much. The ginger will accent the lemon, and the lemon juice, believe it or not, is going to tone down our sweetness level just a little bit. And we're going to give these a good mix, and we're going to pop back in here in a minute. All right, folks, we got our ingredients mixed up really well, and we got an egg roll wrapper. Now, typically, I've been able to find these in the produce section of the grocery stores, but something's happened with the grocery stores. They didn't have these in the produce section or the Asian section. They actually had them in the dairy. So, but they're very common. You can find them at most grocery stores. To me, they're very thin, and it allows a good crispness of this pie that we're going to be making. So we have our cherry pie filling, and we don't want to overdo this. We want to make sure that we get some syrup, okay, and enough cherries to make it fairly good for everybody. The kids are going to love these. Now, I'm not a big fancy wrap guy. The way I do it, I pull it over, I pull it back, I flip in these ears on each end. I give it a roll. I get a little bit of egg wash, which is 1 egg with a splash of water beat up. I fold it over, and that becomes our fried pie. All right, folks, we're not going to bore you with these, but we're going to show you a few more. Okay, folks, in an effort to try to speed things along when you're at home, you can get these foil pans like this, and they have this little cardboard cover that goes on top. And we've got several of these made up. So we want to get a couple of lemon off in here. Let's do 3 lemon. Now we can seal this up. We can add more to it, but we're doing okay. Now I'm going to mix these for us. So we're going to add some apple. We're going to add some cherry. And we're going to put them in the freezer. Seal them up in the freezer. And anytime you need a quick dessert, you can flip this out. Okay? Throw it in some hot oil. You can do these in the oven, but to me, they're not as good as deep fried. And since it's a cardboard top, we just write fried pies. And the flavor will be a surprise when we go to get it out. A way to help speed things up in the kitchen. All right, folks, we fried up a couple of these are ready, but we're going to go that. You need to make sure your oil is, I like it to be around 375 at first. I'm using peanut oil here. So we're just making sure I'm good and hot, and I am. And so we want to get a couple of these, and these are going to be lemon, and we're going to drop them off in the oil. Okay, folks, want to make sure our oil is good and hot and that we're going in here. We had a couple of these leak earlier in cooking, so that's why we got a few things that are left in here. You can see how they're kind of starting to blister up. We need them to get good and crunchy on the outside. As soon as you pull them out, hit them with a good splash of sugar. All right, folks, you can skim out this a little bit with paper towels in here, but since we're doing this for ourselves, I don't mind a few black specks. But make sure you maintain your oil about 375. That's where I like it. And you can do this in a pot, such as we're doing here, instead of a deep fryer or anything like that. It's less oil, especially depending on the size of your family. Don't crowd this. I've only got 2 in here at a time. You don't want to crowd it. And we've got a rack set up over here where we're drying, and that'll help them get crispy. And like I say, as soon as you take them out, hit them with a shot of sugar. All right, folks, fried pie. Look at there. Let's get this one cut open. Look at the crunch. Look at what we got inside. How about that? You can fry them a little more, a little less, whatever to your taste. All right, folks, a very, very simple dessert that you can prepare. You can make 20 of these and put them in the freezer, keep them drop them in a skillet. You can do these in the oven, but to me they're better deep fried. Folks, these are really good. They bring back a lot of childhood memories. That splash of sugar at the end really makes a difference. So folks, do what I'm fixing to do and enjoy your food.